everyone! Today we have famous choreographer Aimee Lee Lucas joining us in the studio. With a background in ballet, Aimee was introduced to hip-hop when she was in high school. She belonged to the dance group Generation 2 and performed in various Philippine fiestas in Northern California, where she got her first taste of the rush one gets when performing. At age 20, she started dancing professionally and traveled to London to perform as part of the Paul Mitchell Hair Show. Then in 2009, Aimee's work was submitted to artists in Korea, and that is where she got the attention of YG Entertainment, and the rest is history. Most of you probably know her as Taehyung's dance partner in the concert series Hot and G-Dragon's Heartbreaker. Well, in addition to all of that, she was the keynote speaker at K-Pop-Con in February at UC Berkeley, and she was so popular that we couldn't even get near her to interview her. So Aimee made time in her schedule to come to our studio just so we could introduce her to you. Welcome and thank you for joining me today, Aimee.
Thank you. You have quite an extensive background on myself. I forget all of these dates and times and what I've done, so thank you for the great intro.
No problem. I mean, you're a really wonderful person. I can see why you were so popular at K-Pop-Con. Oh, it was amazing. But, so the first question that everyone will probably be so interested in knowing about is, how were you connected with YG Entertainment? And like, how was it like dancing with all these like great K-pop artists? And just share your experience with that.
You know, it's a great question. I've told the classic story where basically K-pop really fell into my lab and my friends' labs who are also choreographers in K-pop. And I was asked as a dancer for a submission video for Jung-hwa's Disco.
Right.
It was so much fun. Basically, she's known as the Madonna of Korea, and I was honored to just play her. And so I had short hair at the time. It had a lot of movement, and so I was even more flattered when she ended up, I guess, deciding to wear a wig. And the wig, I guess, accentuated the same exact movements my hair did. So, in a nutshell, she watched the video, YG watched the video. I ended up coming out to Korea, became the assistant choreographer, and worked with Big Bang. I worked in the studio, working with the artists, backup dancers, YG, one time.
Oh, nice.
And I guess they had brought up the idea of having me as I guess a woman or a lead female in the video, and that was crazy. Like, you want me to kind of be like a love character or like in a relationship, you know, and you are the love interest. So I ended up working with Big Bang's #1 video, the first English single for Japan. And then worked on Hot, H-O-T, for Taehyung's solo artist concert, as well as G-Dragons, and then worked with 21 before they were 21. And so that's how I got started, and it's been a blast.
Nice. I mean, before you got into like this whole K-pop world, did you know how big it was? Like, did you expect it to be this big?
No, definitely not. The whole idea of going to Korea was awesome. You know, let's go overseas and go to Korea of all countries. Awesome, you know, like,
Right.
Didn't know the language. That was also kind of a hardship for us, but we ended up finding a commonality because dance is a universal language, and so is laughter, and so we always found a common ground there.
Wow.
But no, as far as how big K-pop was, no, and I would ride in their vans, and I would see fans like going crazy, yelling, running down the street, following our van. And they would wait in front of the building after school. Before school, they'd wait until 3 in the morning until dance rehearsals were done. I would go to the market, like a 7-Eleven, and fans would follow me to give me gifts to give to G-Dragon or to Taehyung or to T.O.P., you know? And so I would transfer these gifts, and after a while, I just realized that they were there every day. And one day, we were coming out of the studio. Taehyung was sitting in the front seat. I told him, hey, why don't you roll down your window and say hi? And so he did. He's like, oh, okay. Rolled down the window, said hi, and all the fans went wild. They went crazy. And so I really am all about being personable, you know, like taking the time out to say thank you. And so seeing them do that, like, it's really awesome.
So then one question I'm very curious about then is like, I assume you're not fluent in Korean, right? Yeah, so how was the language barrier in Korea for you?
What's great about was when I came there, they were already taking English classes.
Oh.
And Sungri, which is like also known as BI, he was good. Taeyang was great. G-Dragon, T.O.P. and Daesung, they were shy, but they understood Korean. So did YG.
Oh.
But in the end, I wish I learned more Korean. And working with Teddy, who was from One Time, and Danny, who was my neighbor. They were both from California, from LA.
Yeah.
And so me learning Korean really went out the door, and I just ended up speaking English to everyone.
Oh, wow, very interesting. So then, all right, so the final question was about YG Entertainment, but like, do you have any future dancing projects that you have? I mean, like, what exactly is your next move now?
You know, I do have a lot of support from everyone under YG Entertainment, which is amazing. Although my work was a few years ago, they are very, I guess, they ask about me. They want to make sure that I'm okay. They say hi. I see them at every concert whenever they're around. So like I go to the Big Bang concert, 21, and Lydia is a good friend of mine. So
nice.
yes. We were good friends, and we kind of opened that door for her. And so now she works in Korea with YG, and it's so great to have a friend there and to see her work. Like I'm such a fan, you know?
Yeah, I'm a fan of hers too, yeah. Very nice, great. So then other things, I mean, not only are you a dancer, but like you've actually acted, and many people know you, like that you worked with Wong-Fu Productions, which is great. Yeah, so the show is called, the mini-series, I guess, is called When It Counts, and you play like in this love triangle, love square thing. It was really good. But would you like to talk about your experience with that, how you got involved with that?
Yes, the web series, it was about 4 episodes. It was called When It Counts. And overall, it was so much fun. But Wong-Fu, I didn't even know. They're actually from Northern California.
Oh.
Yes, and there's 3. There's Phil, Wes, and Ted. And Wes and I went to the same high school, Mills High School.
Whoa. Okay, sorry, wow. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Wow.
And one day I worked with 4C The Power. I taught a dance workshop. And they invited me to a concert called ISA, International Secret Agents. And I guess they have it in New York, they have one in LA. And I went thinking it's like a little recital, like, oh, I'm gonna go to a Nutcracker recital, see kids dance, so cute. So I sat front row, and it was actually like a huge concert. It was full of YouTube celebrities, YouTube stars. David Choi was there, Clara C, and Far East Movement. They're also affiliated, they performed, and so did Jay Park. So I see Wong-Fu walk out, and I'm sitting there, and Wes and I have this connection. He's on stage, I'm sitting down. He's like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, what are you doing here? So it turns out he's part of Wong-Fu Productions, which is huge. I mean, it reaches out to all these young adults, and it's so great to actually be involved in one of their projects. They really care about everything, from the writing of the script to who they cast. And they were just like, if it's not perfect, we won't move on. So to me, that's important because I had no acting experience.
Okay.
They actually threw me into a role. Her name was originally Kathy. Right, and like me, Kathy, like it doesn't really match, but I went with it. And so later they got audience participation. We chose Anna. And Anna kind of wasn't the best character, I'm sorry. But I wanted funny, comedic roles. Like, I thought it was nothing in the script, like, oh, I guess I don't have any funny parts. And then later I realized, oh, Anna has to fall. Anna has to be ignored. No one really pays attention to Anna, but I had a lot of fun doing it. And everyone that was casted as a member, we all had previous history together.
Gosh, that sounds like really fun. But I mean, do you want to continue acting, you think, after you've done this with Wong-Fu?
Yeah, you know, acting it's very scary.
Oh,
you know,
sure.
A lot of props to people who do it. It's definitely a different world, a different mindset, and I think if it was something like a web series, again, with Wong-Fu and comedic, like, I would love to keep exploring.
Oh, great. Oh, wonderful. So then I guess lastly, we would love to talk about, I mean, not only are you a dancer now and an actor, but you're a very successful businesswoman. And you started a K-pop dance class workshop called MVP, which stands for Music Video Party. So like, go ahead and just talk about how this started. What would you like people to know about it? Anything you want?
Yeah, I mean, with everything, like, where do I start? Where do I begin? I guess after Korea, I came back to LA. I did a bit of correspondent work on the red carpet. I became a manager, managing talent overseas, choreographers particularly. And then I guess I was asked to work for a talent agency in Hollywood. So now I'm representing talent, especially dancers, choreographers, and they wanted me to open their international department. It was a lot. And as a performer or as an artist, when you start taking the back seat and working in an office, you kind of have this itch to perform or to continue your art. So, you know, Mnet actually, they had asked me to, I guess, provide a choreographer for their Gangnam style flash mob. So I gave it to a friend who ended up not being available, so I took the job, which ended up being so much fun. I'm so glad I took it, because I thought only like 5-10 people would come. Like, I was teaching 1,000 people. So to see the kids so eager, who love K-pop, you know, I felt like I was a kid again. And as a teacher, like, we had like a 3-hour rehearsal in the middle of the night, and all these kids were just like, do you teach class? Like, if you do, I really want to come. And so that really inspired me to start my own classes called MVP, which stands for Music Video Party. I didn't want anyone to be intimidated by the word dance, so I took it out of there. And it's a 2-hour workshop. I teach a groove. You know, basically, dancing is grooving. And so when they realize they can do it and their bodies are warm, I teach choreography, which I make, which is kind of like line dancing. Everyone can do it, and that's what K-pop is. Everyone can do it.
Right.
So I do that for another hour, and at the end we close out with a soul train, which is, you know, if you can't dance, like, at least walk down it. So I feel like this class is not just a dance class or an aerobics class or a workout. It's really instilling confidence, leadership, and I feel like I'm empowering, you know. I feel like K-pop bands, sometimes they're shy, they're quiet, they have no one else to really relate to. So this is really creating a platform for them.
Wow, that is amazing. I really admire just how great of a work this is doing. But so then, like, I assume it's not only in America. Like, you're traveling around the world with this, right?
Correct. You know, K-Pop Con was really amazing, and shout out to UC Berkeley for putting up such a great event.
Definitely.
Especially having me there. I know it's their second time having it, their second annual event. But as a first timer, like, I was really moved, really appalled, really taken back. So this weekend I had a university tour. I taught UC Berkeley students, San Francisco State students, San Jose State students, and UC Santa Cruz students.
Wow.
4 classes in 2 days.
Oh my God.
It was a lot. I lost my voice, but in the end, it was so worth it. I think the kids really take something and bring it back to regular life, and they get excited, and so that also keeps me excited. But yes, April and May, I'm supposed to go to Paris. June, Vienna, and then there's talk of me going to the Philippines.
Wow. Yeah. Wow, that's great. Well, you're a very busy woman. That's amazing. So then, to anyone here that would like to take one of your classes, how would you like tell them to go about this?
Yes, yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Music Video Party is available right now in K-Town, which is in LA, on Western and Wilshire, every 2nd and 4th Saturday of the month. I also do a class card, which is when you purchase 9 classes, the 10th one is free.
Wow, nice. Very nice. Well, I mean, thank you for talking with today. And then let's close it off with what other future projects do you have in store for everyone or yourself?
Future projects. You know, a few months ago, my goal was to teach internationally. And before the end of 2012, I was asked to do that. So now I feel like my goal should be really big, much bigger. I actually had a chance to work with Cass Song, who is big in YouTube and known to cover I guess, K-pop singles. So we had a sit down where we collaborated together. We even have a video coming out. So I hope to do more collaborations with artists like himself and K-pop or non-K-pop, you know. And as far as MVP goes, not only to take it international, but to really hit K-pop fans who are in small cities where concerts don't go to them. Maybe they're the only one in Idaho or Minnesota, Mississippi. Like, I want to reach those fans.
Thank you very much for talking with us. This was a great interview. And I guess, would you just like to say goodbye or some kind of greeting to our viewers on Kpop-TV?
Definitely. Thank you so much for all the love and all the support. Everything you do really means the world. You know, whether you are writing a K-pop artist, writing people like Kasong or myself, like we read it, you are not being looked away. So keep on doing what you do, and school first, dance second, and yeah, make sure you check me out on YouTube as well as Twitter. And the YouTube has all the MVP classes, so you can learn the, I guess, K-pop cover on YouTube and then learn my classes on my YouTube channel. So you're watching Kpop-TV.
Yes,
this is Becky, and I'm Aimee Lee Lucas.
Bye.